Just lay it out a little bit of what we're talking about. Could you actually start with just giving us a little bit of a description or a definition of what cancel culture is?
Yeah. So uh, I would say that what we're talking about, we talk about cancel culture. It's a slightly imprecise term for what it's meant to describe, but I generally prefer to fight about ideas and not the words we use to describe those ideas. Uh, but what we're talking about is a cluster of cultural and technological trends that have the effect of creating an atmosphere of mutual surveillance and hair trigger denunciation. And one thing that I think is worth saying just at the outset is that while I'm very concerned about how this impacts the left, because I'm a leftist, and I think there are specific reasons from a left point of view to worry about that. Certainly in terms of the left's effectiveness. I don't think it's exclusive to the left or something that primarily comes from the left. I think that it's a disease of neoliberalism that infects the entire political spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now I'm a professor in Texas, so obviously the legislature is going after critical race theory, which
Whatever,
obviously nobody.
whatever I think that means, yeah.
Yeah, it's a law school. It's like Randall Kennedy, I think, right, at Harvard Law came up with that idea, and they're pretending like it's going to apply to second graders or something like that. And I think it's always important because I think you and I probably agree with pretty much everything you say. But I think it's almost obligatory that you have to say the right wing's way worse at this.
Totally.
With things like BDS, with things like critical race theory, with the Stephen Saleta episode, where they will destroy left-wing professors for like the slightest reason. So, whenever I talk about this, I feel like I have to begin with that obligatory, like, look, those guys are way worse. But
Sure.
then, I know a lot of leftists who deny that it's even a thing on the left, and I kind of can't handle that either.
Or they'll say things like, "Oh, the real cancel culture is," and then they'll like bring up some sort of complaint about right-wing censorship or something like that. And it's like, at best, it's like even if the thing that you're saying is the real one is related, or maybe it's even another example of the same thing, like the effect of that is just to deny that that everything else exists, which I don't think is a useful posture for us to take, because I think most people can tell that it exists. So I think that like there are things that we can say from a left perspective that are useful and convincing about this, but I think just like, oh no, there's nothing to see here, probably isn't one of them.